KD2 ETP here. Today I'm wanted to give a little breakdown on these portable power supplies and are they practical for emergency situations? And I'm going to say no. I mean, in certain circumstances, yes. Yeah, they will work. They'll give you a little bit, but you are not going to get the power out of these that you want to run, say, a furnace all night. When the power goes out, if you live in an area like I do in the northern United States, where you may have sub-zero temperatures for long periods of time, the even the bigger ones, a 1500 watt or I've seen them as high as like 5,000 watts. You're, with the load on them, they're just not going to last as long as a battery or a gas or a fossil fuel one, let's say propane, gas, whatever. But for some general applications, maybe camping or something like that, yes, you could probably get away with it. I have a camper and I've run a bigger one that a friend of mine had that was a 2,000 watter. And to be quite honest with you, with the furnace running and running the lights and everything I wanted to do, the little pump that's in there for the water, I think it lasted about maybe 3 hours. And so it wasn't a viable solution for that application. However, as you saw at the beginning, I have a little Honda suitcase generator. That thing will run 8 hours. No matter what I'm doing in there, with sub-zero temperatures, the furnace running all night, I'll get 8 hours out of that. And 10 hours during the summer when I'm not running the heater. So I think they're good for certain things, but I would not bet my plumbing in my house on any of them. And the thing is, you're going to spend a fortune on them. I mean, just to get a 1500 watt, you're looking at about $1 a watt when it comes to these things. These smaller ones, like this one's a 300 watter, they're relatively cheap. But when you get up to about 1,000 watts and more, you're looking at roughly, $1 a watt and then some. And you're just not going to get the life out of them. And even if you do, for a short period of time, in the end, you're totally at bay to Mother Nature. Where, I mean, you got to have a solar panel, or you got to plug them into the grid to get them charged back up, and they'll charge back up relatively quickly on grid power. But with the solar systems, you're looking at a half a day or better to get them things charged up, and that's in full sun. So, like this one in particular is a small one, 300 watts, and I forget what the capacity is. It probably says on the bottom there. So it's 88.8 amp hours, and the battery size is, well, it's a little worn off and I can't really see. But anyways, 88.8 amp hours. And this thing works great for charging your phones. I can run my laptop off of it. I can run my QRP radios all day on that, no problem with this. This one has a 12 volt DC output. It has two different style of USB. This one's the higher amperage quick charging. These are the regular. I wouldn't bet my house on one of these. I would, if the power goes out, and I don't care what size I had. First of all, I just wouldn't spend that kind of money. For $1,000, I can get one of those Honda generators. I know that's going to run my furnace. I know it's going to run it for 8 hours. And when it does run out in the middle of the night, I just go out there and dump the gas. Is that a pain? A little bit? A little bit. It's inconvenient, yes. But you know what? I'm going to have heat in my house. In the middle of the night, when your 2,000 watt battery generator goes out, what do? I mean, there's no way to charge it or anything. You're stuck, And, if you get a propane attachment or setup for your generator, you can get a big propane tank. That thing will run, as long as, the propane lasts. Put a 100-gallon tank on that, you could run a week potentially. So they're nice. I think they have applications for like camping and stuff like that. Maybe short power outages, if you just think you're going to be out of power for an hour or two or a couple hours here or there. Yeah, you can run some things, watch TV, that kind of thing, the bigger ones. But I'm not betting my house plumbing on this, and thinking that you're going to run days on end, with one of these battery generators. It's just not going to happen. I have quite a bit of experience. I've been an electrician for almost, 30 years now, 29 anyways. And I've worked with a lot of battery backup systems in all different applications, substations and these big factories that I work in a lot and stuff. And they work. But even in those applications where they have large battery banks, they're only looking to run for a minimal amount of time, and they're not running everything. These factories don't have battery backups that run the whole factory. It just keeps the critical systems going. And the thing about that is that if they did, if they were really want it to run like their whole factory, they would need a battery bank as big as their factory to do it, and still they would probably only get 4 to 8 hours out of it, and then again, you got to charge all that stuff. And then what do you do if the power's out and there's no way to charge, there's no charging? I mean, to have a solar array, and you see what they put up for these houses to power a whole house. You see the size of these days now. It's not practical to have that going on in your backyard unless you have the money. I mean, you're looking at spending, not only buying a large enough battery generator to power your whole house, but the solar array that you would need to keep that running all the time. Would be, you're looking at probably spending $20,000, and then you're at the whim of Mother Nature. What happens if it shuts off in the middle of the night? There's no way to charge that now. So it's just something to keep in mind. I think there are good applications for it. If you want to be quiet at a state park when you're camping, yes, they're good to bring camping with you or something like that. But like I said earlier, I wouldn't bet the house on it. KD2 ETP 73, all.